Hi friends, welcome to episode 69 of the Quirky Monday Craftcast. My name is Kalisha and you can find me anywhere online as Toni. I am coming to you today from my home in Central Florida, and today is Tuesday, January 15th. If you are a new viewer, welcome. Thank you so much for taking the time to check me out. If you are a returning viewer, welcome back. Thank you for coming to hang out with me once again. I do appreciate you guys coming back and spending some time with me. It just warms my little heart. I'm outside and we've got the dogs. They're actually behind the camera sunbathing, so got to make sure that Tootie stays in her own yard, because she will just walk away, but she's being good right now. So anyway, speaking of new viewers and new subscribers, we exceeded the 1,000 subscriber milestone. We actually hit 1,000 the day that I filmed the last episode, and if you follow me on Instagram, you may have seen my happy dance when I saw that we hit 1,000 subscribers. That is just so awesome and amazing to me, to think that there are 1,000 people who have clicked subscribe on this channel, and I appreciate that so very much. So of course, like I had been saying, we will be doing a 1,000 subscriber giveaway. It is going to be a YouTube based giveaway, and I'm going to be filming a separate video showing the prizes and dictating like what you have to do to enter. So essentially, of course, you'll have to be a subscriber. You'll need to comment on that video that I post, and I will do a random drawing through the comments of that video to select the winners. The giveaway will stay open for a week after I post the video. So by the time you're watching this, it would have been up for a couple days. So if you missed it or you didn't see it, definitely go check it out, answer the question prompt, and enter to see if you can win. Now, I had previously been only saying that there was going to be one prize. However, I'm like a gift giver. I love giving people gifts. So I went a teensy bit overboard when it came to putting together the prize package, and it's a little bit big. So I figured I should just split it in half, and then I can give 2 prizes. And that's even more fun, right? So that's what I'm going to do. There will be 2 prizes. I did go through to make sure that they were pretty much the same, very similar in what I put in them. And yeah, so we'll do a random comment drawing to see who the winners of those prizes will be, and we'll go from there. So thank you so much for subscribing. I really do appreciate you guys being here with me. Tootie is screaming at the neighbors. I had to go get her because she wasn't even listening. So yes, so that's everything for the 1,000 subscriber giveaway, and we will continue onward and upward, going on into our bright future. The second thing that I wanted to say before we get into the craftiness, I wanted to tell you guys about a make-along that I'm planning. So my birthday's coming up in February. It's February 24th, and I'm a Pisces, and I thought that it would be fun to do a make-along surrounding Pisces season. So I'm calling it the Pisces season make-along. I know, creative. It'll be hashtag Pisces season MAL. It is open to any fiber crafts, sewing, visual art, multimedia, collage, things like that. Like, because I consider this a craft cast, and I have been known to like dabble my little fingers in quite a few different crafts. I want to open up that variety to you all as well. Okay, so there are two ways that you can participate in the Pisces season make-along. One, you can make anything that uses Pisces colors. So Pisces being the fish, you can use anything that is water related. So the blues, the greens, those cool colors, seafoam green. So you can even like branch off into mint if you wanted to. But just like if you do just only the color of the theme, make sure that that color or that color family is the majority of your project and not like one stripe in a sweater. You know what I mean? The second way is to work a pattern that is in some way fish or Pisces related. So you can do an amigurumi fish, or if you have a pattern that features like a fishtail lace or has something to do with a fish or marine life or the ocean or anything like that, you can enter that into this make-along, or you can create something like that and enter that into this make-along. So yeah, and if you do decide to do something that's like fish related or like follow a pattern that's like that, you don't necessarily have to use the color, but I think you guys get it. So of course, if you have any questions, leave them down below. So my idea for the Pisces season make-along is for it to run throughout Pisces season. So Pisces starts on February 19th. Yes, February 19th, and it runs through March 20th. So that's how long the make-along will be. We will have a works in progress, or a chatter thread rather, as well as a finished object thread in our Ravelry group. I know, we do have a Ravelry group. It is active. If you search Quirky Monday Craftcast on Ravelry in the groups tab, you'll find us. It's there. It's just very quiet at the moment. But I hope to change that. I hope to change that in this coming year. So yeah, get your minds, your ideas rolling for like what you could possibly do to participate in the Pisces season make-along. I'm really excited about this idea. I have like a bunch of ideas in my little brain going on about like for this make-along, and I really hope that some of you participate as well. Oh, if you are a maker and you would like to donate like prizes for this make-along, definitely get in touch with me. That would be awesome. I mean, I'm going to be putting together like little prizes on my end, so there will be goodies. And I think that is everything for the pre-crafty stuff. I am sipping on some soda in my Tootie. Can you stop screaming? Then the neighbor dog starts yelling. My goodness. I am drinking some, what is this, root beer out of this mason jar cozy, I guess we can call this. It was sent to me by Sam of the Sam Squeak Craftcast. You should definitely check her out. She is such a sweetheart, and she recently did a time-lapse video of her making one of those like big arm knit blankets, and it was so stinking cool. Like, I think I want to make an arm knit blanket now. Do I need an arm knit blanket? No. Would it probably get ripped to shreds by my dog's little toes? Yes. But I want to make one. All right, into the crafting we go. So we have no real finished objects. We have one finished object that's like finished again. A couple months ago, I test knit the Aria top by Sophia of the Drunk Knitter. And when I finished the whole test knit, the chest part of the top, it didn't quite fit me, so I had to do some modifications. It is a halter necked crop top, knit in DK weight yarn. I did mine full length, so she does have options in the pattern to lengthen it. So I made it a full length shirt and finished the pattern, turned in all of my notes and everything, and it is live now. So if you like, I'm going to put a picture in of it in a minute. If you like how it looks, definitely go check her out. Purchase her pattern. She's really awesome. She also has a podcast that's really funny. But everything like that will be linked down below. But when I finished it, it was too small, like in the armholes for me. So what I ended up having to do, and why this is finished again, is I ripped out the neckband and knit like maybe 1.5 to 2 more inches, and then put the neckband back on, and now it fits. So I will put that picture in now so that you can see how it fits. And I am so excited for whenever it decides to warm up enough for me to be like out with like all my shoulders and my chest all out, because it's not really that warm. Boy, because it's not really that warm, despite how bright the sun looks. It's a little bit breezy, a little bit chilly. It's definitely not halter top weather, but as it is Florida, it'll probably be halter top weather in like 2 months. So yeah, that's my only finished object, and we can go on to works in progress, right, Tootie? What's up? Do you have something you would like to say? No, you just came up here for the snuggles and the scratch-ins? Well, I need to use my hands. Is that okay with you? No. We're gonna sit in the sun? Yeah? You stink. You're always so stinky. You just are anti-bath, aren't you? Every time I give this dog a bath, she comes outside, goes to the top of the hill, rolls over on her back, and just wiggles down the hill. I don't know what to do with you, little one. All right, so into works in progress. The first work in progress that I have, ma'am. I am trying to podcast and you are not helping. Is this what you want? You just want my hand on your head? There you go. Are you satisfied? No? Yes. Y'all see this dog? She is so spoiled. Okay, I will snuggle you later, but I need to finish this video. People did not come here just to look at your cute little face, even though it is cute. Okay, bye. Okay, bye. All right, dog hair everywhere. First work in progress is living in one of the very first bags that I ever made, in the space fabric, because I do loves me everything space. These are my birthday socks. So we are this far into the sock tube. So this here is Lion Brand Sock Ease in the grape soda colorway, and then the stripes are Knit Picks Felici in the Countess, and this is the rest of the ball. Oh, hello. This is the rest of the ball. I weighed this before I came out here. I think it's like 17 grams. It's like 17 grams left. So, and that's out of a 50-gram ball. So that's pretty good. So what I'm doing is a kind of like an afterthought everything sock, and I'm knitting it toe to toe. So I'm going to knit all of the Felici. When I finish the Felici, I'm going to knit a toe, and then I'm going to cut in for the afterthought heels and cut in for the cuffs. I've done cut in afterthought heels before, so I'm not worried about that. The afterthought cuffs are kind of like making my mind feel a little boggly. Like, do I need 2 pair of needles for that? I feel like I would. Like, would I put in 1 set of needles around one end, skip a row, and then do the second set of needles around the next row, and then cut that stitch in the middle? We'll figure it out. But for the time being, I am just knitting a tube. And yeah, it is very, very relaxing. This is the most stockinette in the round that I have done like in ever. Yeah, because it's now longer than the longer than my afterthought heel socks that I've done before. And yeah, I'm really liking this. Also, this is kind of making me want to have like super long socks. So lucky for me, I have a couple balls of Felici where I can do that and have like a whole Felici sock, like a whole ball of Felici being one sock instead of 2, because I only have one of these. But yeah, I'm excited about these. They will definitely be done for my birthday. And this is, oh, hello, just blinding you. I'm just blinding you up in here. Can you see that? This is my progress keeper. It says Pisces. And yeah, nothing more to say about that. This is my first time using Felici. It is like, whenever people would talk about how soft Felici was, I was like, oh, okay. But it's crazy soft. I think it is actually so soft that it may be changing my gauge. Like, I feel like my gauge in these socks are a lot looser than I normally knit. And I feel like that has to do with the fact that it's so soft. But I do enjoy it. I do like the feel of the yarn. Yeah. Thumbs up for my first Felici experience. My first Felici foray. Anyway, next work in progress is in one of my wide mouth Quirky Monday bags. I will be reworking this bag pattern so that hopefully I can bring you guys more of this design in the shop, which would be awesome. This is my Nalya wrap. This is a pattern by SharaMade, and okay, that away. This is a pattern by SharaMade. It is a crochet pattern, paid for pattern on Ravelry, and it's chevron, like uneven chevrons, and it's made to be used with advent calendar minis. So that's essentially what I'm doing. So over December, I did Vlogmas, and the week between Christmas and New Year's is Kwanzaa, and I wanted to like kind of have like a Kwanzaa event calendar to open each night after I talked about the principles. And you can see all of this on the last 7 days of my Vlogmas videos. But each night I opened up a new mini. 5 of the minis were sent to me by Melinda of Yarnder Woman, and 2 of the minis were sent to me by Alice of Alice Alishka Yarn Cakes. Yes, Alice, it's so hard to say. Alice Alishka Yarn Cakes. So these first 3, they're hunting birds. These first 3, 1, 2, and 3, are from Melinda. Each one of my mini blocks are 16 yeah, 16 rows long. Then I have a 2-row spacer gap in the gray, and the ends of the wrap are going to be these colors. This variegated here, the red, black, and green variegate, the green, the red, and then the dark variegate. These are all ones that I dyed. The black is just Deborah Norville Serenity Sock in black. The reason that they are red, black, and green are those are the colors of the Pan-African flag. So I really identify with that flag because I feel like it represents me as a person of African descent who does not know or has lost, who doesn't have a connection with their African roots. You know, slavery and all that stuff. So I really identify with the flag for the Pan-African flag. So this is the color that I am currently working. It is a one of the ones from Alice Alishka. They are hand dyed by her and don't have colorway names. So yeah, so I'm just working through there. This one is, how many rows am I in? I'm 6 rows into this chunk. So we'll just keep on trucking along. This is a nice project that I work on like at nighttime, like if I'm watching podcasts or something like that. Nice and relaxing. So that's that. The last, oh, this is not the last work in progress. It was the last work in progress when I wrote my notes. It is not now. So living in my Wakanda Forever bag from Lady Dye Yarns is my summertime tee. And this is, this is a pattern by TL Yarn Crafts. And, oh. Didn't even notice that eye fell off. This is a pattern by TL Yarn Crafts, and I am just working it right along. What else can be said about this? It is a crochet top, as you can see. I am using Lion Brand jeans in the stovepipe colorway, which looks like that. Just a like variegated black and gray, and the pattern is worked up in extended single crochets, and it makes like this really nice stretchy mesh that I really like. So this yarn is so super soft. Yes, ma'am? What do you need? Oh, okay. Everybody wants to sit on my lap today. Okay. This yarn is so super soft, and I do find that it gets a little bit splitty if I, like, the longer I crochet and I don't like drop the yarn, it does get splitty. And I, because it's loosely plied, it's not a very tightly plied yarn at all, but it is very soft. I really like it. I really want to make a hat out of this. So I'm probably going to be purchasing some more of this yarn to do that. But yeah. Can you stop? You and your sister just being so demanding today. So demanding. So yeah, let me put the hook back in here. What else can be said about this? Nothing really right now. I'm just going back and forth. I think I have to work it flat until it is 14 inches long from the bottom up, and then I get to do whatever's next. All right, girl, can you get down? No? Okay, we're gonna go on. So my next work in progress, and this is the last work in progress, it's actually in the bottom of this basket. It doesn't have a yarn bag. It doesn't have a project bag yet because I kind of cast it on a whim. I was sitting one day, like the sun is like right there. I'm like, come on, just drop behind the building. Just drop behind the building so I can stop glowing. Although it will get a little chilly. Ooh, I am just... Fun fact, in college, I had a friend named AJ who used to call me Sunshine. And I am really feeling like sunshine right now. Like, whew, look at that. We're just gonna wait for a little bit for that sun to slip on behind the building. I'm just gonna hide right here underneath the sun's rays for a little bit until I'm able to sit back up. So anyway, so this sock I cast on kind of on a whim because one day I was sitting and I am learning to write knitting charts. So I was wearing this sweater, and this is one that I thrifted. I got it at the Goodwill, and I was looking at this cable motif, and let's see if I can, there you go, we're hiding from the sun. This cable motif here, I really liked it. So I was like, oh, I bet I can chart that, and I bet I can knit that, because what knitters don't do that? And I did. The only thing that is different from this to my chart is right here in the middle, like behind the cable, there's a purl stitch that runs like all the way down the middle of the cable. I'm not entirely sure how to do that. Also, I'm not entirely sure that it's really necessary. So okay, you gotta get down now. Go ahead, off. Yeah, for real. Thank you. So I charted it out, and then, so this is the first chart that I made, like this side, and that is this cable. And then I reflected it, put one on this side, put some reverse stockinette in the between them, and ta-da, there you go. And it works out to be a 20 stitch panel. So I figure doing this on like a worsted weight sock would be really nice. So that's what I did. Uh-oh. And all right, we are home free from the sun. Okay. So we've got this going on. I have one cable repeat, and then the second one I have just done. The back, I'm doing 2x2 rib down the whole back. I still have some tweaking to do with what kind of rib best fits it, because it's not quite right. But I do like the way that the cables are working up. And this yarn is Lion Brand, yet again, Wool Ease in the dark rose heather colorway. This is a yarn that I've had in my stash for a very long time, so I'm glad to be using it to get it out of stash. So in my mind, what I'm envisioning is the cable chart goes all the way down the foot of the sock, and the ribbing will be down the back, and of course stockinette on the foot. I don't know if I want to do a short row wrap and turn heel like I always do, or if I want to do a heel flap and gusset for these, because since they're worsted weight, they're kind of like cozy house socks. So I don't know. I'm kind of thinking heel flap and gusset, even though I do not like knitting heel flap and gusset socks. We'll figure it out. I mean, I'm probably going to frog this because the ribbing doesn't flow into the cable like I really want it to. But I'm glad that I have like essentially like a swatch of what it could grow up to be. So that's my last work in progress. The next thing I have is actually a pattern in progress. And if you're a longtime viewer, you'll be super proud of me because it is Gemini. So this is my Gemini shawl, and none of the edges or the ends are woven in because this is how I live my life. We know this. But the last time you guys saw this, I think I had joined the pieces and put it together, and I thought I was done, but I really wasn't satisfied with the way that I had done the join. So I ripped that out and did some more brainstorming and came up with a much better solution. So this is Gemini, named after the constellation. It is a 3-color fingering weight shawl that is made in pieces. So you make one half, and then you make the other half, and then you seam them together. Each half is made up of 3 sections. So you have this motif is section 1, this mitered square is section 2, and then section 3 is the wing. The 4th part is the join, which is a flat crochet braid with Kiva. Do you want to go inside? Okay, 1 second, get down. Real quick before Kiva goes off on me. It's joined now with a flat crochet braid. Let's see if you can see it better there. So it almost even looks like a cable right there. And I really like how that came out. So I have the whole pattern is written up. I just have to give it another once over for, you know, grammar and consistency and everything like that, and then it will be ready for testing. So I'm super excited about this. I love this pattern. Gemini is one of my favorite constellations. My other favorite constellation is Orion. Oh wait, you can't see the last star. Ta-da! I made this shirt. It's got all of the main stars of Orion. But anywho, so that will be ready for testing. I have one tester already lined up, so I'm gonna be looking for a couple more, and I'm really excited to get that pattern out for you guys. The other pattern in progress that I have, which I have given myself the deadline of my birthday, so by February 24th, this next pattern is going to be out to you guys. It is the L Tannin socks. Those have already been test knit. I've got all the notes and everything, any modifications I need to make. So now all I have to do is drop it into my pattern layout and be ready to go. I'm super excited about this. I have so many ideas in my head, guys. I need more hands. The only thing, see, you almost fell off the other side. The only thing about the sun going behind the building is that now it's kind of chilly. Okay. I kind of feel like it's really ironic that my parents live in Delaware and they literally got 5 inches of snow yesterday, and I'm down here in Florida putting on sweaters and shawls oh my gosh, I'm so cold. Cold is relative. Alright, so that is everything for works in progress. Let me consult the notes. Sidebar, this is my puppy love shawl. It's a crochet pattern. It features some crochet brioche, so you have the color A, color B, if you're new and didn't know. It's super cozy. So yeah, next we will go for stash positions. So I purchased a skein of yarn from the lovely Robin of Birch Hollow Fibers, and anyone who has been here for any length of time knows that she is my favorite indie dyer. I love the way that she puts colors together. And I was scrolling on Instagram, as one does, and saw that she had done an update. So I purchased this lovely. And this is Serpentine. It is in her sock yarn base. It's 75% superwash merino, 25% nylon, 463 yards. And that's very true to color that you're seeing there on the screen. So I bought this to go with another skein that I've had from her. I've had this skein in my stash for probably, I don't know, a year and a half maybe. But because I love it so much, I was just like trying to find like the perfect way to use it and the perfect way to highlight the color, because it's very variegated. And it is this color. This one is called Oceana. Don't mind my red ties, I reskein this. So I bought these to go together, but I think that they are just too close to really work. So I'm back to the drawing board. Darn it. We got two skeins that need projects. So this one I love that it's very tonal, as you guys can see. So I'm thinking that a nice textured sock pattern would look nice with this. This, on the other hand, is so variegated. There's so many different colors and variations in there. I'm not entirely sure what I want, like what it wants to be. Like, I know that this will be really great as something like plain stockinette, but I don't know, I kind of don't want it to be plain stockinette. Maybe I will come up with some way to like highlight this in a very plain stitch and then maybe do like a contrast around it, like as a shawl or something like that. But this Oceana obviously just wants to be my homie in this form. But just, isn't that great? Look at how all those colors. This will be perfect for like the Pisces season make along. Like, I could swim in that all day. So, because she's awesome, she sent me a note and she goes, I sent you some happy mail because I know you love the greens. She sent me 2 other skeins of yarn. I'm only going to show one of them here because the second one is in the giveaway for the 1,000 subscribers. So this is the other one, and this is Emerald Way, also her sock yarn base. And this color is not showing correctly on screen. It is showing more blue than you're seeing on there, but this is definitely more green than you see. Maybe like that? Ugh, I love this. And normally, like, my green is like that, like bright Kelly green color, like that shade. But this one, it's just like a quieter green. I feel like that's really weird to call a color quiet, but I love it. Now, these two, they could potentially be something together. But again, I kind of want this to be like some sort of simple textured something. Ooh, maybe I could do a shawl and the middle part be like plain stitch and then do a simple textured border. That could be really dope. We'll see. So this is my Birch Hollow Fiber Pisces collection. This is the Pisces collection from Birch Hollow Fibers. It's not really, but that would be, it's the Pisces colors, guys. Over the weekend, my church did a leadership summit, and it was down on Disney property. So after all the church services were over, like, we hung out down there, had dinner down there, just like chilled out around the area. And one of my like guilty pleasures is souvenir shopping. I love souvenir shops. And maybe that's because I grew up in, like, nowhere have I ever lived was like a touristy place. So this is the first time I've lived anywhere that was touristy. So whenever I see a souvenir shop, I'm like, I gotta go in there. I have to see what kind of little tchotchkes they are like selling. So I went into this souvenir shop and I got a pin. I guess I should have taken it out of the plastic. Oops. Oh no. Oh no. I'm not littering. So I got a Tiana pin. And she is the princess from Princess and the Frog. And I was very happy about that. So just another pin. Just another pin to add to my collection. That is that everything that I purchased? Yes. So the last thing that I got in Stashquisitions was actually some happy mail that I received from Trisha of the Best Day Ever podcast. Her podcast is so nice, and she's like, okay, people have told me that I'm like a really bubbly, like a bubbly energy happy person. She is a consistent and calm energy happy person. So I really enjoy watching her podcast. I love the vibe that I get while I'm watching her podcast. I'm sorry guys, we gotta tuck this hair in. Also, I love that her favorite color is orange, which is also one of my favorite colors, and you should definitely go check her out. I will link her down below. But she sent me some happy mail saying congratulations on reaching 1,000 subscribers. And y'all, I have to show you the card, because when I opened this card, I laughed out loud. It says, bust out your happy dance. Are you ready? Oh. Don't just stand there, bust the move. This is why I don't dance, guys. This is why, right there. You're welcome. You are welcome for that experience. But she sent me this card. It was delightful. It really made me smile. I just love that being a part of this community has brought people like Trisha into my life. Thanks, hun. But in addition to the card, she did send me some goodies. She sent me a bunch of tea, which I am definitely going to brew one up when I get inside, because it's a little bit Florida cold out here. But she sent me two of my favorite things in the world: yarn and fabric. So this skein here is from Neighborhood Fiber Co., which I have never like held, touched, seen any of their fibers, and I'm so excited to be exposed to a new dyer. I had heard of them before. I know that they're like, are they up in the like the Delaware, Maryland, Virginia, Washington DC area, like that area? Oh, I should look at it. It's probably on here. Oh no, it's not. I think they're up in that area, but I had heard of them before, never seen any of their work, and then I saw them again in one of the lists of that are being compiled of the Makers of Color, and come to find out that they are a Black-owned business, which is really dope. So yeah, this doesn't have it does have a colorway name. This is called Scottdale, and it is really pretty. Now that one's showing up more true to color. I don't know what was going on with that green earlier. So that is really pretty. It is on Studio Sock, 100% superwash merino, 400 yards. Is this a 2-ply? Yes. Yes, it is a 2-ply. It looks like it's pretty round actually, and pretty like tightly spun or tightly plied. So that's fun. So I don't know what this will grow up to be, but I do love those colors. Oh, and I think these colors like me too. So she sent me that. And then she also sent me this fabric. Now, I love Ankara fabric, and she does too. So she sent me some from her stash, and look at that mask. And it's metallic. Like, I have metallic fabric, y'all. I don't know what I'm gonna do with this, but it's gonna be really awesome. So I have this piece. I have this piece, which is the green and purple. And then I have this piece. Now I just mentioned that her favorite color is orange. Orange is also one of my favorite colors. My 3 top favorite colors are orange, yellow, and green. They just really make me happy. So we've got orange and yellow in this one. And oh my gosh, I have no idea what I'm going to do with this fabric, but just looking at it makes me happy. So I kind of feel like I'm going to, because this is definitely a remnant. Like you can see, like she had cut a pattern from it, so it's like leftovers. So I think what I'm going to do is square up what she has given me, and then from the extras, I think I'm going to frame a piece. I'm going to cut out a swatch and frame it, just so that I can keep this like this beautiful energy that I'm feeling from this fabric. Like, I think that would be great. I like that idea. I'm gonna do it. So thank you so much, Trisha, for sending me this. I sent her a video of me dancing to the card. So yes, I have been dancing to this card for like 2 days. Well, no, I got it last night. So I've been dancing to this card for a whole day. Delightful. I'm excited. I love it. Happy making days. So I think that's everything crafty I have. Consult the notes. Yes, that is everything crafty that I have. That is everything crafty that I have. Normally I would transition to my Black Fibers, Black Threads segment. And what I wanted to talk about was my feelings on the race and inclusion conversation that has been going on over Instagram. And full disclosure, this is actually the second time that I filmed this whole podcast. I filmed yesterday originally, but I wasn't feeling like, I felt like I missed things that I wanted to say. Also in yesterday's podcast, I had tried to film that Black Fibers, Black Threads segment, and it just wasn't coming together. So earlier today, I sat down and I wrote about what I was feeling, and it just came out the way it was supposed to. So I will insert a video. I did put this on Instagram, so if you follow me on Instagram, you may have already seen it. But I will insert the video of me reading the post, which is what I wanted to say. So I'll put that in here. Hi, friends. So I have been trying to figure out what I wanted to say when it came to my feelings on the conversation around race and inclusion that's been happening here during the last week. And I tried to record a video about it. I tried to, come up with a succinct way to put my thoughts into like a a photo caption or something like that, and it just wasn't working. So this morning I got up and I started writing, and I don't know why I was surprised that I was able to verbalize my feelings better when I wrote it out, as opposed to just trying to speak it out, because this is how I process. I act like I don't know myself. So I wrote a thing, and I don't think it's finished, but I wanted to share with you what I have. I came to this community looking for a place to belong, looking for others who were crazy in love with the action of creating, looking for those who filled their lives with color and texture and beauty, looking for others who were excited at the possibility of what a simple thing can become. And I found lots of those people, but something was still missing. I didn't see myself represented, so I regularly searched things like Black girl crochet, or do Black people knit, and Black people crafting, or African American DIY craft blog, just trying to find a glimpse of someone who looked like me engaging in this space that I was growing to love. And I kept coming up short. There were lots of dead blogs and inactive web pages, and it seemed like this space was as overwhelmingly white as it looked. So I asked myself, what can I do about this? I started blogging. I kept a blog called Apartment 203 where I regularly shared my DIY projects, sewing adventures, and fiber activities. Whenever I started feeling like no one cared about what I was doing, I reminded myself of all the time I spent looking for the content that I was actively creating. I told myself that if I was looking, someone else was too, and I wanted to be there for them. I wanted to show that this community, this makersphere, has space for us too, that we are here too. I thought of how many times people told me that I was doing something that Black people don't do, and I wanted to stand against that. Eventually, 4 years ago, my presence in the blogging world connected me with YouTube podcasts, and suddenly there was a new way to see the face of the maker community. So I dove down that rabbit hole and the space opened up wider. And I found all these new makers with videos and Instagram pages sharing so many beautiful things, but the same thing showed up. Where was I? Where were the Black people? So I searched, and the first Black people I found were Dana of the Essence of Me channel on YouTube, Rochelle of Queen's Yarn Boutique, and Mars of Hey Brown Berry. And I consumed their content, so happy to see my people active in this space. And I kept looking for finding them was hard to say the least. So I asked myself again, what can I do about this? I started podcasting. I started showing the things on video that I had previously written about. And I told myself to create the content that I was in search of, so the Quirky Monday Craftcast was born. I wanted to create a space that showed a Black person crocheting, knitting, sewing, scrapbooking, dyeing, spinning, painting. I wanted to take all the things I love and put them on a platter and serve them up to the internet ether in hopes that another person looking to see their face in this sphere would find it. And then it happened. Connections started forming. I searched through subscriptions of the makers of color that I follow and began finding more, and their YouTube channels linked to more Instagram profiles, and soon it was like I followed the breadcrumbs home. I can't express how it felt to be able to open Instagram and see, without extensive searching, Black and brown hands entwined with yarn. Digitally, my crafting community was beginning to look like I'd always hoped, but in real life, I was still confronted with my otherness all the time. It was in the uncomfortable feeling of spending time searching for yarn shops in an area and being excited to go squish the yarn in hopes of taking some home, only to walk into the store and all the conversations stop. The feeling of eyes following me around the store, so I kept my arms crossed and stayed visible. It was the obligatory let me know if you need help. It always settled on my shoulders like a whisper of "you don't belong here," but I brushed it off, assuring myself that I'd rather not talk to anybody anyway. They're just giving me space to shop. And then trying to come up with an excuse for the contrastingly warm welcome the next person got when they walked in. It came in the invite to come to a knit night, and then showing up despite anxieties, only to be held at the edge of conversations, or when I tried joining said conversations or asking a question, receiving a clipped answer, then the person turning back to the group, leaving me once again on the outside. It's sitting there, knitting in silence, feeling more alone than I'd have felt sitting by myself at home. This is why these conversations are important, because crochet and knitting have become such pillars in my life as well as lives of countless others. We also want to get those warm welcomes that we see others receiving. The taste of experiences that I've written here and that so many other Black and Indigenous people of color have recounted over this past week are just a sliver of what we deal with on a daily basis, some of us more than others. Some of us, like me, have made so many excuses to cover up the pains that these experiences cause. I put mental band-aids on the cuts and say it'll be all right, just keep smiling, until something like these conversations comes around and rips them all off. So here we are, band-aids off, wounds open, hoping that airing them will help them heal. So hi, I'm Kalisha. A Black woman, a maker, a crocheter, a knitter, a photographer, a storyteller, a friend, a wife, a lighthouse, a soft shoulder, a fighter, an encourager. I am here and staying here to make sure that my future daughters won't have to wonder if Black people do that. So for anyone who saw that on Instagram and sent me messages or responded to it or felt touched or moved by my words, thank you for listening. Thank you for listening, and not only to me, but listening to all the other makers who are telling their stories and sharing their experiences and bringing light to the experiences that we have as makers of color. It's such an amazing feeling to be able to speak on something that is so close to you, that is oftentimes a negative experience. Like it's amazing to be able to speak on those things and to have people actually listen. Yeah. So thank you so much for listening and for hearing us and for signal boosting. If you shared any of the stories that are being told right now on Instagram, if you've had these conversations with people in your regular lives, if you've had these conversations with your friends over the internet or at knit nights or anything like that, if this conversation has made an impact on your life, thank you for allowing it to do that. And I believe that as beautiful as a community can be, like we creators are something special. And I know that whenever a beautiful thing goes through the fire, whenever it is tested and it is exposed to those strenuous circumstances, it can only come out stronger and more beautiful. And I, for one, am excited to see the growth and development that's going to happen because we are having these conversations and because people are listening and internalizing and making decisions to actively make this a better space for us to be in. And as like so many people, you know, say like, oh, I knit for relaxation, like this is my happy place, stuff like that. Like if this is just a tiny like section of your life, and you see how much of an impact and what is really going on in this tiny section of your life, then you can take what you're learning here and apply it to the rest of your life. You know, like for me, finding the taking the that energy and that courage to record that video that you just saw and just put it out on the internet, and leave it there. That I need to take that courage and put it into other areas of my life, where if I experience another like microaggression, that I need to take that courage and I need to speak about that. I need to tell the person or explain why this particular thing was hurtful. And I am not a big like speaker upper, but I need to be, because if I don't, then nothing can change if nothing is said. So that's something that I want to carry from my experiences over the last week with this conversation of race and inclusion. I want to apply these feelings and these decisions and these motivations to all the other areas of my life, because this is the work that we have to do if we want our world to be better. We have to be those changes. Like, it all comes down to being the change you want to see in the world, right? So yeah, that's everything, guys. Thank you so much for being here with me today. Leave a comment down below of something positive that happened to you. Speaking of positive, Thao of Nerdbird Makery has I think she may have saved it as a highlight, but she's been collecting what she calls bright spots. And I really appreciate what she's doing, because one of the things that I have been feeling with the conversation on race and inclusion is that there's so much light being shown on the bad experiences that people have had, that it gets overwhelming, at least for me. Being a very empathetic person, I feel other people's suffering more deeply than I should. You know, it almost starts feeling like my own suffering. But when I saw, and I read through all of the posts that she was putting up, she said, how have you been lifted up in the knitting community? And I think that is also needed. Yes, we need to know what struggles and what hardships people of color have faced in this community. Everybody needs to know these things so that we can work against it. But we also need to know how we are being positive bright spots in this community. So it's a balance. So I would definitely encourage you to go check out her highlight on the bright spots. I will link to her Instagram. Hopefully it's a highlight. I do believe it is. But definitely go check her out. But yeah. So as I was saying, leave a comment down below of something positive that happened to you in this past week or thus far into the year, so that we can all spread that positivity. And if you're watching this and you see that there's comments on the video, go read other people's positive experiences. You know, have conversations with people, meet new people, use these videos and, you know, Instagram posts as ways to connect with other people in a genuine way. But yeah, my hands are getting cold now, and I'm going to go inside. Thank you so much for being a part of my universe. I will see you later. Bye.